Hello, my name's Gary Renshaw with Steel Transportation Services, and today I'm going to be talking to you about pre-tripping your unit. First, we're going to start off at the front of the rig, unlatch the hood, which this one's already unlatched. That one's already unlatched. Sometimes these get stuck. You just got to pull up on the little U-bolt here, roll your cattle guard down. Okay, there's two things you're going to need to perform this pre-trip. You're going to need a rag or a paper towel, because the first thing you're going to want to do is check the engine oil and make sure the engine oil is full. Once you've established that's full, you're good. You never want to check the engine oil after this truck's been running. You need to wait at least an hour for all the oil to get out of the top of the motor and all the capillaries in the motor back down into the oil pan before you check it. The second thing we're going to check is we're going to check antifreeze level and make sure the antifreeze is full. Oops, I almost forgot one thing. You're going to need a flashlight too, because you're going to want to make sure that there's no antifreeze oil leaks anywhere on the motor, on the radiator. And then you're also going to come around to the other side here. You're going to check the belts. Just take a look at them, make sure the belts ain't all cracked up. Make sure you have both belts. Make sure there's no antifreeze leak. This is one of the common spots these Cascadias like to leak, is right here under this upper radiator hose. And then down in the corners on the radiator itself, because they're plastic. Make sure all your hoses are good. Everything's connected. There's nothing broken or hanging. Then you're going to check in here and look at your brake shoes. Make sure your brake shoes ain't broken or very thin. Make sure your slack adjuster's not hanging down onto the ground. None of your pins are missing here. Make sure your tie rod's not broken or damaged. Then we're going to grab our hammer and we're going to check these tires. Make sure you don't have a flat tire before you leave. Just a simple thump on the tires. I mean, we really don't worry about it too much. Just tap them and you'll have a loud thud if it's flat. You're going to do that all the way around the truck and the trailer. If we have a flat, you're going to be able to tell, because it's just going to go thud. While you're doing this, you can crouch down, look at your brake shoes, and make sure your brake shoes ain't broken or missing. Or see, here's a prime example right here. You see how that push rod coming out of the front of that brake chamber is overextended on the slack adjuster, and it looks like it's about ready to crest past 90 degrees like it should be. This should always be at 90 degrees, so that slack adjuster right there needs an adjustment before it leaves here, because that is a DOT violation. But we're going to continue on our pre-trip.
Give me a little flashlight up on there a little bit, just what you're talking about. Okay. All right.
To continue our pre-trip, and then we'll get that brake adjusted. We're going to come around the vehicle and recheck, checking all these tires. And while we're checking these tires, we're going to make sure that there ain't chunks of tread missing out of them or deep cuts down in the sidewall. Or make sure they're not as smooth as a baby's behind like They need to be replaced. We're going to continue our checks here, making sure the brakes are good, making sure they're not out of adjustment. Checking our load, make sure our straps are tight. Next, we're going to turn on the lights and make sure all the lights are good. But while you're checking these tractor tires too, you can also look around and make sure that there ain't no loose U-bolts, cut airbags. Make sure your fifth wheel's locked. Look for worn suspension parts right in here. Make sure these ain't worn out and loose. Again, while checking airbags, shocks. Make sure there's no brake chambers hanging. Loose transverse rods or lateral arms. They've been called many things. Torque rod. Okay, now we're going to turn on the lights and test all the lights on this unit. When testing these lights, 4-ways are not acceptable. You need to check the turn signals individually. So we're going to turn on the lights. You'll have to have your key on to check the turn signals. Check your left turn signals. Make sure that all of them are working. Starting at the front. On the hood there, working. Under the door here. This one under the door here. So there's really a lot of points of contact you got to watch here. This one's working. Also, the center one needs to be working too. If you have a marker light right by this turn signal on the side, this marker light on this center section here doesn't have to light as long as the turn signal works, and there's a marker light somewhere around this turn signal. The ABS light, when you check the ABS light, is more so when you first hook to the trailer. The cord that operates the ABS system has constant power on it, so as soon as you plug the cord in, this light's going to come on, click twice, and then go out before you even see it, before you even get out of the cab or around from the front of the tractor or trailer. Okay, everything's working. Let me turn on the right turn signal. We'll check the right turn signal. We'll start at the front. Right turn signal on the front and side are working. Make sure you check your cab lights too and make sure all those are lit. It's an easy DOT violation. Looks like all of our lights are working. Center one's blinking. Of course, checking straps while you're going down. See, the strap's kind of loose. So that needs to be tightened. I'm sure the driver will check this before they leave with it. Rear turn signal's working, everything's working. The only thing left for us to do on this one is to get the slack readjusted on that first axle that was missed. Also, one of the things that we encourage is make sure that none of your mirrors are cracked or falling off the side of the cab, the hood, and then we're going to go around, and there's one more thing you might want to check and make sure that you have a fire extinguisher in case you have an incident to where you're going to need safety equipment. Just make sure that you have a fire extinguisher in here in triangles in case you need them, which this one does. All of our trucks have them, but make sure they're there because you never know. And that's pretty much it. Just make sure that none of your body panels ain't broken and falling off. Check for damage on the sides of the truck. If you're parked in some truck stop somewhere, make sure your fuel caps are there, like somebody wasn't trying to steal your fuel. Make sure everything's secured. Looks pretty good. I think we're ready for the road after we get that brake adjusted. Another thing that I would like to encourage is during your pre-trips, if you find something wrong with any of your units, I'm hoping that you'll call me and let me know instead of just writing it up, but also write it up. That way we have documentation of it, but you shouldn't leave with a tail light or a marker light out. So I would encourage you to call me and one of us can come in and take care of it before you leave, so that way you don't get a ticket for it.